Hello everyone. Today we will study about the functions. What are the functions? So let's have a look on the definition. A function is a self-contained block of the statements that perform some coherent task. Means a specific task is performed by the statements of some kind. Every C program can be thought of as a collection of these statements. Means a function have some statements and we will call it in the program a number of times, which is our main program. So in main program, if we have requirement of these specific statements, we will call these statements in the main program by naming this function. We can take some name like fun and we will call it in the main function. So if we require this function a number of times in the main function, like once, twice, thrice, so we will use these specific statements in the main function by calling them. Let's have a look in some example. Here is a simple example we have taken, that it is a main function and here we are calling a function of message. So when these statements occur in the main function, our cursor will go to this part and the statements written in between these braces will be performed. Like when we have this message call in the main function, so it will be printed first, means work hard. Like here we can see in the output that firstly work hard is printed here. After then it will go back to the main function after the calling function message. So it will print again for success, as we can see it here, because slash n is used here. So slash n is for the new line. So we will have the output like work hard for success. Here we have to note one point, that main becomes the calling function, because we are calling the function message in the main. So main is the calling function in this case, and calling function, and this message is the called function. You can see here called function. So this message is the called function in this specific case. So in this case main is the calling function and the function which is called in the main function is called as the called function. Means function message is called in the main function. Let's see another example. Here in the main function, first line is I am in main. So in output we will firstly have this line as it as I am in main. From this part you can see here. After that a function India is called. So calling function is here main and called function is India. So after getting this statement, it will go to the India function here and will print I am in India. You can see here it is printed I am in India from this statement. You can see. After that it will go back to in the main function, and here a second function is called, which is Australia. Australia is called here. So now Australia is the called function and main is the calling function here. So it will go to the Australia part and here it will print it I am in Australia. You can see the third line, I am in Australia. You can see here that we are using slash n here, therefore the printing statement is in a new line. So after that it will go back to the main function performing its statements. So now next is the England. England is the card function. So now after this it will go to this England and it will print I am in England. We can see here I am in England. So fourth line is the I am in England. After printing this it will go back to the main function and come out of this main function, and we will have these outputs. So here point to be noted is that when we have to call the function we have to put these semicolons when we are calling the function, and where we have defining, this is the defining of a function. So when we have defined here India, so there is no any semicolon, no semicolon is here. So when we have to define a function there is no any semicolon, you can see here it is not, here it is not. And when we are calling, this is called calling a function, we have semicolon sign here. So remember it, when we have to define a function there is no any semicolon, and when we have calling a function then there should be a semicolon sign. Next is the points to remember. So from this program we find that any C program contains at least one function. Means any C program have one function, which is that if a program contains only one function it must be main. Means if we have a simple program, like if we have this program that I am means these lines are not present, then also we have a function in that. Which one? This one. This is a function, means main itself is a function. So third point is, if a C program contains more than one function, then one and only one of these functions must be main. Because means in this case we have one function, second function, third function and fourth function. In a straight way we can see these three functions, but there is one more function which is the main. One is the main function there. So if we are saying that in this program we have four functions, then from these four one should be the main. One must be the main function. So remember this point, this is very important point, that every C program has at least one function which is main. Now fourth point is, there is no limit on the number of the functions that might be present in a C program. The point is that in a C program we can have a number of functions. We can have a number of functions. There is no any limit of those functions. So point to remember is that there can be any number of functions in the main function. Next is, each function in a program is called in the sequence specified by the function calls in main. This point is that if this function is occurring first, means India is first occurring first, so it will go to the India function firstly. It will not happen that it will go to the England directly. It will cover by statement, means in a sequence. Firstly it will go to the India part. After fulfilling these statements it will go to the back in the main function and find that Australia is calling here, so it will go to the Australia then, and after fulfilling these statements it will go back to the England, and England function is called here, so it will go after that to the England and fulfill its statements. So the meaning is that if some function is coming first on the first basis, so it will be served first, and after that further functions will be served. And the next point is, after each function has done its things, control returns to the main functions. When main runs out of the function calls, the program ends. The thing is to that if the purpose of this function is fulfilled, means these statements, it maybe have more than one statements will be covered, then it will come back to the main function, and after that control will go to the Australia function as discussed, and after fulfilling these statements again the control will come to the main function and go to the next point, which is the England. After fulfilling these, it will go to the this point England, and control will go to the England part, and it will fulfill these things which is written in this, and control will go back to the main function, and after finding the braces clause, and it will come out from the main program, and program ends. So next is nested functions, means the functions can be nested also. Let's have a look at this example. Here we have the main program, it print I am in main. So these are the outputs. Here we can find this print I am in main. Next, after writing this, second is India. So our control will go to the India part here, and take the first statement. Here it is written that printf I am in India. Here slash n is used, so cursor will go to the new line and write here I am in India. You can see in the output also. After that Australia function is called, so it will go to the Australia function. Here you can see Australia. So in this Australia you can find the, here it is written that printing I am in Australia. So this thing will be the our third output, I am in Australia. In this we can see that firstly main called the India function, India further called the Australia function, and Australia further called the England function. Means nested of functions is done here. Means firstly main function is calling India, India is calling Australia, Australia is calling England, England is calling after that after calling after doing these statements, it will go back to the Australia. So when when England is called, here we will have the fourth printing of I am in England, you can see here, and control will go back to the Australia. Some persons thinks that it will go to the main part, but it doesn't happen. In which the function is called, the control will go back to that particular function. Means here we can see England is called in Australia function. So after fulfilling these statements, the control will go back to the Australia, and here it will print the I am back in Australia. So now it will be written here I am back in Australia. So after fulfilling these functionalities, it will go back to the India part where it is called, means Australia function is called in the India function. So here it will go to this point. After fulfilling these purpose, it will go to this point printf. So here it will write I am back in India. So next output is I am back in India. So after fulfilling these, we found the braces, and the control will again go to the main function as India is called in the main function. So after fulfilling these things, our control will go to the main function, Here we can see it is printed that I am finally back in main. So this will be printed here. So let's discuss again that on starting of the program it will be printed I am in main, which is written here. After that India function is called. Here we can see this semicolon. So it will go to the India part, and here it will write the I am in India. So first one is this, second is this. After that this function further called the Australia function. So it will go to here. Now it will write I am in Australia. So this is the third one, I am in Australia. Again at the next line it called the England function. So it will go to the England part, and here it is written I am in England. So it will write here I am in England. After that the control will go to the again to the Australia. Here you can see here. So it is written here printf I am back in Australia. So this is the fifth one, I am back in Australia. After that doing these work it will go back again to the India, because Australia function is called in the India function. So it will write I am back in India. So you can see here this one is the sixth one, and after doing this work it will go back to the main function and write I am finally back in the main. So it will be the seventh one. So in this way we come to know that the functions can be nested, means this to this again Australia is calling England, and the control back is like this one, and after doing these things it will go to this. So this is the nested. So next some points are, first one is a C program is a collection of one or more functions, means there can be functions, but if there is no any more function then one must. Which one? Main. Every C program has at least one function, which is the main. Second point is a function gets called when the function name is followed by a semicolon. As we know, as I told that when a function is called there must be a semicolon, as you can see in this program this, but here it is not semicolon because it is the definition of that function and it is the calling of that function. So in each calling like this we have the semicolons here, and when we are defining you can find that here we have no any semicolon, here we don't have any semicolon, because when we are defining a function then there is no any requirement of the semicolon. But when we are calling any function then we have the requirement of the semicolon. This point must be remembered. Third point is a function is defined when function name is followed by a pair of braces in which one or more statement may be present. Means these braces are must. When we are defining some function these braces are must. Whether a statement is one, if we have one statement then there is braces, and if we have more than one statements then also we have these braces, means these braces are the must for defining some function. Next is any function can be called from any other function. Even main can be called from other function. The point to be remembered is that the main function can also be called at some function, means we can call the main function here also. If we write here main, so After printing I am in Australia, it will again go to the this part, this, and here it will write here, I am in main. So there is no any restriction to call the main function in other functions. So point to remember that we can call the main function in other functions also. Next point is a function can be called any number of times. So there is no any restriction to call a function. We can call England here a number of time. England, here we can see England again, means there is no any restriction on this. Or we can call here also, England or any other function if we want. Then those functions can be called a number of times. There is no any restriction on the number of times the function is called in a function. So there is no any restriction. Next point is the order in which the functions are defined in a program and the order in which they get called need not necessarily be the same. We can see that in this program the functions are defined like, firstly India is called, here we have defined India. Australia is called, we have Australia. England is here, then we have the England. But it is not necessarily to define in this sequence. You can see this example here. India is called first and defined first. Next is called Australia and we have defined England. So there is no any problem, it will go to this part. Here we are defining Australia at the third point and calling it at the second. Here we are calling India first. You can see India is defined here. Here next we are calling Australia, but it is defined at the third place and England is placed at the second. And here we can see we are calling England at the third place. So there is no any problem in this case. We can place it anywhere. We can place this India part at the third position also, and maybe it called in here firstly. So there is no any problem in defining of these functions. So these functions can be defined in any order and will be served in the order they called. Means if India is called first, so India will be served first. It can be here, or if it is here, so it will be go to this part. So there is no any problem in defining of a function. So next, a function can call itself. Such a process is called recursion. So if we have some requirement to multiply or add or do some specific type of works a number of times, so we can use these type of recursion. Means here we can define some function and call it again and again in the same loop. It will again go to this, again go to this. So there is no problem in that, and we can fulfill our purpose by using recursion. So there is no problem. A function can call itself. So we will do it in further video, that what is the recursion actually and how it is helpful to us. Next point is a function can be called from other function, but a function cannot be defined in another function. Means the purpose to say it is that a function can be called from other function but can't be defined in another function. If we think that we will call here India, it's okay, there is no any problem. We are calling here Australia, there is no any problem. But if we write this part in some other program, like here if we write all these statements in another function, that is not allowed. If we try to write these statements in another function like a main function or in another function, then that is not allowed. We can call that, means we can call Australia here, there is no any problem. There is no any problem if we call Australia here, but we can't put these all these statements in some function. We have to write these statements separately as written here. All these things can be written here, no problem. All these things can be written after these, so there is no any problem. But if we write these part, if we write in some program like after these braces, so that will be wrong. We can't define any function in another function. The thing is, a function can be called from other function, but a function cannot be defined in another function. Next point is, there are basically two types of functions. There are two functions, means first one is the library functions, like printf is also a function, scanf is also a function. So these are the library functions. And second type is user defined functions, as we have defined in our examples, India, Australia, England, all these are the user defined functions. We have defined these functions to serve our purpose. So these are the user defined functions and these are the library functions. So now question is, why we are using these functions? Why we can't write these statements which are written in the function in the main function? Why these statements can't be written in the main program? Why we can't write these? We can write, but why we are using functions? So let's have a look. First one is, writing functions avoids rewriting the same code over and over. Means if we have the requirement of multiplication, in some main program, we have main program and we have requirement of multiplication, or we can say table of any number. So if we have requirement of such a table of numbers, so we can write these program statements in a separate functions, and we require this table of any number in the main program 100 times. We required 100 times of these statements in the main program. So and this table of any number is of 5 statements here, 5 statements. So these 5 statements, when will be written in the main program, will give the 500 statements. So to avoid the complexity of the main program, to rewrite these lines again and again and again and again in the main program, we have to use the functions. So in this way we can write the table of some number, any number, in a small function, and we'll call it in the main function whenever it is called in the main function. Like when we have to call table of 3, it will go to this part, and again if we have the requirement of table of 10, then again it will go to this part, and after serving it will come back to the main program. So in this way it will become easy for the programmer to write a code. Second point is using functions, it becomes easier to write programs and keep track of what they are doing. The meaning is that if we have some main program and here we have some programs of addition, multiplication, and here we have some functions of addition, multiplication, likewise subtraction. We have some, here use the semicolon. So in these programs, whenever the addition is called, it will go to the addition. Multiplication called, go to the multiplication. Subtraction is called, go to the subtraction. So in this way, it is very easy to read by other users that what is going on these program. If we have give proper command that this function is for addition, so it is easy to learn about the program. First point is that. After that, again, if there is some problem in multiplication, if we find that the program is not giving 5 fours are 20, it is giving 22, so we will not go to the addition program, we will not go to the subtraction program, we will go to the multiplication program directly and check the statements here that what is the problem here. If there is some problem, so it will be identified in that particular function. Other functions will not be treated and the time will be saved. Our time will be saved and we will be directly track the mistake. If there is some mistake, so we can track it easily. So these two reasons are that why we are using functions. Why we are using functions, these are the 2 points. Next is passing values between functions. Till we have done, programs are the simply to print some points, but if there is requirement to write some value of calculation type, then it will be used. So we have to pass the value. Pass the value means pass the data value. So let's have a look in this program. Here we can see we will start from the main. Here are the integer declaration of A, B, C sum. So it is a program to calculate the sum of 3 numbers A, B and C. So it is a user friendly program. So here it is written that printf enter any 3 numbers. So numbers will be entered through the keyboard and will be saved at the location A, B and C through this scanf statement. So here %d is used for the integer purpose. And after that, addition formula is here sum. Sum is equal to a function call sum is called where we are giving these 3 values A, B and C, which are stored at these locations, or you can say these variables. And now this will go to the calsum function. Here A will be given to the X, B will be given to the Y and C will be given to the Z. Let if we have the 3 values which are entered through the keyboard is A is 10, B is 20 and C is 30. So here these 3 values are entered through the keyboard and now it will be given to the X. Now our X will be 10, Y will be 20 and Z will be 30 in this function. And we have to declare these types. So here it is declared that X, Y, Z are of int type. And again another variable is taken in this function D, which will have the sum of these 3 numbers. So here we can see the formula D is equal to X plus Y plus Z. So now it will have, D will have the 30, and this 30 will be returned by this statement, return bracket D, and it will go to the here this part and will give to the sum. Now sum will be 30 here, and after coming to this we will print the 30. Sum is equal to no sorry, it is 10 plus 20 plus 30 will be the 60. So now sum will be 60, which is printed here. You can see we have the values 10, 20 or 30. It can be any by the values entered through the keyboard, or you can say user defined. So these value can be any. In our example we have taken it as 10, 20 and 30, which will give the sum of the 60. So here one thing to note, that in this function we have this type of declaration. So in this declaration, if we defined it in this way, which is shown here, so this is called the K and R method. K and R method. And the secondly, we can define the same things through this calsum, and here itself in this function we are declaring that what type of x is here. X is of int type, y is of int type, and z is also of int type. So this is called the ANSI method. Nowadays ANSI method is popular. So this method is nowadays going popular, so it is used nowadays. So second thing is A, B and C, which are given here. So these are called the actual arguments. These are the actual arguments, means we are passing these value to function. So we have used the topic as passing of values. So here we are passing these values. These values are called the actual arguments, and the passed values which are taken in this XYZ, we can see here also XYZ, are called the formal arguments. So these are the actual arguments, and these are the formal arguments. So points to be remember, that this is the way we are passing values, passing of values, and these are the actual arguments and these are the formal arguments. And second point we learnt here, that we can change these steps directly by this statement also. So this is also okay, and if it is written in this way, then it is also right. There is no problem in both cases. So next we have here seen the return statement. So now we will learn that what is this, what is the return statement. So return statement serves two purposes, means there is mainly two purposes of this return statement. First one is, on executing the return statement, it immediately transfers the control back to the calling program. Means as this statement occur, it directly goes to the main function here. This is the main function, so it will again go back to the calling function. You can say calling function, and here it is also written calling, because it can be go to the any calling function where it is called. Second point is, it returns the value present in the parentheses after return to the calling program. In the above program, the value of the sum of the three numbers is being returned. Here you can see this D have the value of 60. You can see these come by the addition of 10 plus 20 plus 30, and this 60 will be given here 60. So the value in the parentheses is given to back to the calling program. And next point is there is no restriction on the number of the return statements. Means it can be one, it can be two, thrice, or many times in a single program, in a single function. Also, the return statement need not always be presented at the end of the code function. Means it is not necessarily that it will come before braces of the code function. So let's have a look at some example. Here we have one example of the program to print alphabet in small letters. We will write a program to print alphabets in small letters only. In this ASCII table we can see from 65 onward we have the ASCII value for the characters of A to Z in uppercase. Here we can see A have the decimal value of 65, whereas Z have the 90 value. These are the characters and these are the decimal numbers. Likewise, we can see this 97 onward we have the small letters. So our aim is to write the small alphabets. So here we can see A have the 97 smaller and capital A have the 65. So we can calculate the difference of these two. It is 32. It is 32 between this A and this A. Likewise, this Z and this capital Z means small z and capital Z have the difference of 32 decimal numbers. So let's have a look at this program. Firstly, we will include the header file. After that, it will go to the main function, braces start. We will take one variable of k of character type. In this k, we have called the function. So it will go to the here. The control will go to the this function. Here, one character is defined here of character type ch, and the alphabet is entered through the keyboard. Here printf enter any alphabet. So user will enter any alphabet that may be of the small letter and of capital letter. So after stored at this location, this value, it will check that whether the decimal value of the character is greater than equal to 97, because we know that small letter lies between 97 to, you can see here, 122. So this is the decimal limit of these small letters. So it will check that the value entered through the keyboard is small or not. So if the user entered small t here, so it will check that t has the value, we can see from the table, 116. So it will check that 116 is greater than equal to 97 or 116 and 116 is less than equal to 122. Both conditions are true, so it will give the same value here to the main program here, and it will be here k. So here k will be have the value of 116, or you can say t. So this t will be printed at the output. But if this character ch have this capital T, so after entering this, it will check that this capital T has the value 84. So 84 is greater than equal to 97 and 84 is less than equal to 122. So this condition is false, whereas this condition is true. But we have requirement of both condition true because we are using AND operator here. This is called the AND operator. So in the case of the AND operator, both conditions should be true. So in this, it will go to the else here. It will check that the conditions are not satisfied, so it will go to the else statement, and here it will add the 32 in this. So after adding 32 to it, it will become 116, and 116 is the small t. So it will return the 116, or you can say t to this, and will be printed a small letter. So in this way our program of writing any alphabet in small letter is fulfilled. So here the purpose to explain this program is that the return statement can be more than one. Here we can see we have the two return statements in this program, and also we have observed that this return statement occurs very before these braces, means there is no any compulsion that the return statement will come only before these closed braces. So these two parameters are explained by this program. So next we will see the void. If we want that a called function should not return any value, in that case we must mention so by using the keyword void. Means if we want that some program should not return any value to the calling function, means if in some function this display function is called and we want that this does not return anything to main function, so we will use this keyword void. Void is a keyword, so if we use before the called function, then it will return nothing, it will return nothing. So this is the purpose of the void function. So next, void keyword. So next is the a function can return only one value at a time. Next point is that we can't return like this, return a and b, because return statement can return only one value at a time. We can't write like that a and b, x and 12. We can't do this. We can write like this, return and directly without any parentheses. This is okay, it will return the garbage value, it can return the any value, any garbage value. But if we write like this, it will give the syntax error. So return statement can return only one value at a time. We can return a number of values by using pointer. We will discuss it in another video that what are the pointers. Let's have a look at this program. If the value of a formal argument is changed in the called function, the corresponding change does not take place in the calling function. Let's have an example here. Main program. Here we have integer declaration of a type and initialized value 30. Now a is 30 and we are calling function fun here. It will go to this and pass the value 30 here. Now this a will be given to the b. Here it is using ANSI method to declare this, as we have studied in previous slide. So now here we have the b as a 30, but again here it is assigning 60 to b. Now the b have the value of the 60 here. So here it is the printf b. So output will be 60, not 30, because here again b is assigned the value 60, and now it will go back to the main program. Here we have printf a. So remember that now we have passed the value only of a. We have not given 60 to a. Remember to note that a is not 60. A will remain the same. Here it is saying that if the value of the formal argument is changed in the called function, here called function is fun, and the corresponding change does not take place in the calling function. So a will not become 60 here, a will remain the 30, and on executing this statement it will be printed as 30. So our aim is to say that when we are passing some value, it will not become a as a 60. So a will not be 60 here, a will remain the 30 in the calling function. Next is scope role of the functions. What is the scope of a variable? So here we can see an example in which main is a program. A integer I variable is declared and initialize the value 20 here. After that it will passed through this function. Here now j will be 20 on passing I to j. After that here one integer k is taken as 35 and printf \n %d and j. So here it will print the 20 here as it is passed, and again k which have the value of 35 will be printed. So the aim is to say that this I is local to the main program, j and k are local to the this display function. So default scope of any variable is local. Local means this I is not used here, so I will have the same scope here as a local, and these j and k are the local to the display function. So thank you for watching this video. So if you like it, then like, subscribe and comment the channel Program in C Embedded. Thank you very much.